the hood conversation. I want to take the time out to say thank you, God. Thank you, angels, ancestors. We have topics, titles, thunders, and truth. Hopefully, you got your tea, your coffee, your soda, or whatever kind of beverage you like of your choice. Or all right, high vibes. We never know how we're going to start, but we are going to start. Let's get it. Let's go. Like, man, everything is so serious. Why it's so serious? No, but for real though, it's like I don't know how we're going to do this, but we're doing it, right? Random reads, conversation, and I'm just the MC. Everything comes from God, the highest of the highest, the Father, Mother of us all, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Um, like I said, I'm just the MC. Extra, extra, extra. Breaking news, the facts of the matter, the verdict, okay? I'm amazed because, like I said, I'm just the MC, and I just read the cards. I just read the energies. I just, and then I commute it to y'all. So, and it makes sense. So, it's like space travel without traveling. It's like, yeah, it's like a conversation moving with the spirit without your body actually being there and going there, if I had to break it down. So, boom, let's go. I don't know, but all things come from God. So, let's get it, let's go. Drop the bullshit, you're ready, is on the other side of that flashy. Okay, so let's get it, let's go. I don't know what deck we should use like that. So I got the Nightmare Before Christmas. We're in the winter month, so I guess it's perfect. The Nightmare Before Christmas. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, okay, so boom. Like, me, God, Gordon, and since we always have our private conversations, and this is like perfect, like just a little bit, just so I could tell y'all. Um, we were talking about like, cause we talk about all kind of stuff, but we were talking about holidays, and it's a pretty cool thing that I love to do with them, with God, Gordon, and ancestors. It's like almost like cracking cases or whatnot, like um, figuring out puzzles and shit, like a keister and shit or whatever, just to give you a overall view of what I'm about to say. But like we were talking about how the holidays and what they could really mean, you know what I'm saying? And one of the holidays or whatnot, which it just came to mind because this deck is the Nightmare Before Christmas. Thanksgiving comes before Christmas, and then Halloween comes. And so that right there, because we were talking about Thanksgiving, you know, and we just went back further and was like, okay, what about, because I was asking, what about Halloween, with the face and the mask, not just mask, but you could be anybody you want to be on Halloween, you know what I'm saying? And what they was explaining to me or whatever is just like, um, identity theft. Just say it like that. Identity theft is the reason of that holiday. And then celebrating the identity theft, like as in playing dress up in their clothes and having a whole feast in the way they would. You see what I'm saying? And then the sacrifice or whatever for Christmas. That's what Christmas would be about. Gifts, gifting other people's things of identity theft. And then they told me more because I asked about all the other holidays where they were placed at and all of that. But I thought I would share that with you guys or whatnot. The magic that they used to just a fucking ritual to take over. If you know, you know. Okay, so let's continue because I didn't want to ram off. That's not what the reading was supposed to be about. It's supposed to be extra, extra, the breaking news, so different news and facts or whatnot. So let's move on to the next topic. But we did have the Nightmare Before Christmas. Okay, so I was about to move on, but the sun is here in reverse at the bottom of the deck. And what I was thinking about telling y'all or whatever is God is saying, tell me or tell them that thought. Okay, so another situation that we were talking about how they convert the energies. Um this duality is kind of similar to the ritual that they do for October, like you could be anybody you want to be, but it's more so um timing, like messing with time. Instead of what you do during the day, you do it at night. And what you do at night, you do during the day, if that makes sense. That's another clue. So, and they were also talking because I was like, yeah, that do make sense, God. You know how like you could have your off days, where you have your free days during the day, and how you just be running your errands or whatnot, and you'll see a lot of traffic, and you just wonder to yourself, why is there so much traffic if everybody is at work? I know you guys have asked yourself that at least once or whatnot, if pretending on or pertaining on what age you are, anyways. But saying how to shapeshift the spirit, you know. Because at first they had to change the outer, the image, and that's dated for October, in between October, November, or whatever. Because they had a feast, that's why they back to back like that. It did, as far as God just showing me the sun in reverse and saying, tell it. And I say that because the Hierophant is behind the sun. Um, that they switched. That's how they switched the soul or something like that. Side note. So, next thing, let's continue. All right, let's see if some hoppers is going to come out. All right, cool. We have the Six of Cups. It turned over. So past nostalgia. This is what this card is supposed to mean. It's supposed to mean like memories, nostalgia, childlike energy, the traditional point is sitting on the outside, like in a garden or something like that. But there's buildings and stuff. So it's like basically being out in the city, outside on the sidewalk or something like that. And there's guards, police, people that work in the city. And you don't get to see, like, in this card, like, if there's shops, if there's a housing addition or anything like that, because it's just a face card picture. I'm just giving you guys a rundown or whatnot of the Six of Cups. But typically or whatever is nostalgia, memories, past bringing into present. What you learn from the past, bringing it into present. So, continuing, what's our next card? Six of Wands. Six of Wands is here in reverse. So it has something to do with a missed victory, some type of aim from the past. So, going back to like those little points, news that we were talking about, this could have been, these could be facts, like I said, these are conversations that me, God, or his ancestors had, and I'm just sharing it with y'all, okay? But this could be actual factual, behind the scenes, got all these people to, because we have asked, I know how you guys have seen, like, all around the world, like, people have been asking, like, about your belief system, doing these things, like, what does it do for you? You know what I'm saying? Does it have any difference? It doesn't hit the same, like, just different, opinions pertaining to these rituals that have been in place. And I'm seeing these cards as in it was placed on purpose. intentionally to get everybody around on this hamster wheel, because they needed to harness energy off of us. They needed to harness energy to make this image stick. And this image was to shapeshift, like, because remember we said something about um identity theft, you know take your, and they did it in ritual form. So let's continue. Chariot at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Ooh we got the moon out here, and we got the Queen of Wands out here too. Damn, y'all. So boom, this is what I'm getting with this, because we just seen the sun and it was in reverse. So that was almost like the opposite of the sun, which would be the moon. Like I was explaining, saying to y'all, like movement at night versus moving during the day. And they needed to convert the spirit. You caught their ass, multiple people caught their ass, or whatever, what they was doing behind the scenes. We not no dummies. We know how to read between the lines or whatnot. We see what it is. A vibe never lies. This is what I'm getting with the Queen of Wands being paired to the moon. Because the Queen of Wands has a cat, and she's sitting next to a candle, and this candle is lit, but she's like on, like, a ledge. It looks like she's on a ledge, but it looks like she's looking and she's seeing something. They don't see her. She's a black cat too. They don't see her, but she see them, right? And then this moon, it has like Jack on a hill, but it's in reverse, y'all. But on the hill, on the ground, it's a graveyard, and it has like pumpkins and stuff around or whatnot. And pumpkins is around like Thanksgiving and Halloween and Christmas. I mean, sometimes they kind of like linger off of them around, but they be having pine cones and stuff like that. They put all together and everything. And we always, people do their own research and everything, and you put the puzzle pieces together. We're not no dummies or whatnot, but no, none of this shit add up, and that's why the whole world decided that like, Christmas don't hit the same. These things don't hit the same because they was damn rituals that they was doing on us the whole damn time to try to shapeshift and do some damn identity theft. It was all wrapped around identity theft. And if they did these rituals, it would keep everybody asleep or some shit like that. This is what I'm hearing. Damn, y'all, I knew we was gonna go deep, but I didn't know we was gonna go that damn deep. God always seems to surprise me. Like I said, I'm just the MC and I'm telling the story. So, but this is what I'm getting with these two cards or whatnot. And I had to explain it to y'all. And then y'all, the graveyard, it has like they have different tombstones, right? But it's one of these things that don't really look like a tombstone, y'all. I'm gonna turn it in the upright so I can really get some detail on it. Y'all, it looks like I don't know, y'all. It looks like some type of symbol, but it don't look like it's a part of the tombstone. I wonder if I could show it to y'all too. Y'all probably can't see that. Okay, y'all can see it. Y'all see it right there. It don't look like no tombstone. It look like a symbol that's sitting like right there on the edge. Anyways, even though it's sitting on the edge of it, y'all, I just need to get a closer look to y'all. Look real quick. This is the tree stump. This is a tree stump that Jack is sitting on. And like I said, it was in the reverse. But it has tombstones in there. Tombstones, there go the pumpkins and everything. This is like the land or whatever that is sitting on. And this look like a symbol. This don't look like no damn tombstone or whatnot. But yeah. What's good, what's hood? I'm doing alright, great and grand. Telling this story or different stories pieced out together. What's this? I'm trying to tell you, it is identity theft. I want to show y'all this one too, because it has like the ghosts all stealing gifts. and presence and stuff for themselves. Damn, this is crazy, y'all. We was talking about that, but it's like stealing others' identity, stealing others' lineage, um, their bloodline from them. And all of this was intentional, and they did rituals and had the whole world doing rituals to steal lineage. Wheel of Fortune comes out. Damn, y'all, and this look like playing with time, even though the Wheel of Fortune is about the odds and also your natal chart, who you was born to be. The odds are in your favor. But this skeleton, and this is the same Jack Frost that's being exposed with this moon. Like, you see things that others might not see or that they do see, but you also see things that they didn't think that you saw, but you saw them too. Like, you read between the lines. Like, they think that they could set up this damn play and you don't get the gist of it. Damn. It's like they'll never know who they are. They'll never discover who they are, and you know. This has been a whole class play is what I'm getting with this part of the extra breaking news. A whole class play to do identity theft and steal your lineage from you. Keep you from knowing who you are so you can't move forward. In the meantime, extinct yourself so then that way I can take the credit of being you. Damn. So the Death card is here and the Two of Cups is here in reverse. So, like, what they did was just like, when I was saying that work at night and rest during the day, in other words, is what it's really supposed to be. But to flip it and have most working during the day while they're up at night so they could do the work, they could flip and switch destinies and do like destiny swap or some shit or whatever. It's a lot of things that they be doing or whatnot. I'm not saying this is what you're supposed to be doing at night. I'm saying this is what they would do at night. And in the midst of them doing these things at night, because they were trying to change, trying to do a destiny swap. And in order for them to do it, they had to make the original people or high vibing people move their spirit out the way. Because hypothetically, just saying, allegedly, you're supposed to work at night and rest during the day. But it hasn't been taught in that way. It's been taught in a routine to work during the day and rest at night, but purposely to destiny swap. But in the midst of it, like I said, what it looks like to me with this Death card and this Two of Cups is that working at night don't necessarily mean doing evil. Intentions was to do evil at night to invoke the spirits so they could get ancient teaching knowledge to destiny swap. So basically, in other words, calling on the devil, but not necessarily not in that way. not in a very calculated, intentional way. At night, when you don't, instead of calling on God, they was calling, this is what God is explaining to me um in this portion of the read. Y'all, this shit be getting deep now. I just want to throw that out there, y'all. This shit be getting deep. What's good? What's good? We got the hermit here. So look, y'all, while you able to like read between the lines, right? And you seeing things that you ain't supposed to see. Well, I mean, well, it's the obvious. It's like right there in plain sight. But you just able to like decipher what is what, right? It's like you catching these meetings, these like, it's like the mask is not there no more. If that makes sense. But it's some type of secret meeting that you are aware of, that you know about, or something like that. Secret conversation, because it's like you damn near there, but you ain't there, but you there. Like you a fly on the wall, a ghost, walking ghost. Because the hermit is a ghost, so yeah. Spirit. Something's going on behind the scenes or whatever. You know how they be talking about like that underground shit? I'm getting those type of vibes with this. I don't want to dive in too deep with that shit, y'all. Ooh-wee. But like with these set of cards, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like something, a secret meeting in a hidden passage or underground, or somewhere hidden. Like a group of motherfuckers that know that ain't they shit, and then they trying to like cover it up, and the covering up ain't working or something like that. Cause there's a witch and a miniature demonic man and a kid in the midst of this card. Mm. And it look like they asses is, under something, somewhere they ain't supposed to be, on some type of throne that they ain't supposed to be, because this could be like an edge of something too, because it could be like castle, gives me castle vibes, y'all, too. It's candles though. They standing behind 5 candles, which would be wands. They know, they know, they know. Wow. 20 minutes in, breaking news. Extra, extra, extra. And the verdict. Goodness, what is this? It feels 9 of Pentacles. So it's like the presents, the gifts, the things that they took, they got to give it back. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's what I'm getting with that being in reverse. Yeah, that's about taking care of yourself or whatnot. But listen to what we're talking about. Like, we're talking about people that want to do identity theft on your whole bloodline, you included. Make you believe that you're something that you're not. So then that way they can take things that are already due to you by birth. It's your right. And if they destiny swap you and make you like you never existed in your whole lineage, your bloodline, then they could get the fruits of all of what's due to you. And they got everybody around the world to do rituals with them during the day, while they made plans to take over at night. This is what I'm getting the sum of. Because they knew that they didn't have a bloodline tied to them. So they wanted to steal yours. This is crazy. So they got us doing holidays and shit like that, routines and all of this or whatever, because it's like getting the roast fat and healthy, so I can get it prepared to overtake thee. And they done it so many times, I'm hearing. But they had to do what they had to do was they had to do it a lot to fill a cup, like to fill the energy up, to be able to get this big. They couldn't just go right on out and just pretend to be you, or just identity theft and show a card and say I'm you. They had to make sure they got you completely, use you up, but get you completely out of the equation, so then that way the story would match. If they're sitting here saying that they're you and they don't have your genetics or whatnot, but the genetics is still on the planet, how can you make that stick? How can you say that? Okay, if there's purple people and you're an orange person, how can you say that you're purple? How can you change it and say that you're purple if purple does actually exist? But if I could write out purple and make purple like it never existed, and the only thing that did exist in that place was orange, I can replace the orange on top of the purple. But they'll never know that purple even was in that spot because I took it out, if this makes sense. As far as in trying to destiny swap, identity theft you. Take your lineage. Is what this is. So it had to be different steps to take to get this out of the way, because it's not just one of you. You know, it's not just one purple spot. As an example, sitting there, I have to take the eraser and erase, so I have to have a lot of orange spots to replace the purple spots in order for it to match. Okay. And then I can execute my plan and say I'm ownership to this lineage. And they can't deny me because it's evident. There's no evidence prosecuting my claims, going against my claims. So, let's see what's next. Yeah, this is deep. But it's like they wanted to take ownership of who you are, and you own them because they put in all this work to erase you but can't erase you. You can't be erased. Oh, but they're exposing themselves. It's receipts on what they did. They worked so hard to get you out that they end up putting out a lot of things, a lot of evidence to fraud. I'm hearing fraud. That must be Guardians and Ancestors God screaming out fraud. They're frauds. That's what I heard. So. Okay, so God is at the bottom of the deck, y'all. I just want to show this to y'all. And I just said to y'all, they're frauds. Okay? Then justice is also behind there. So this could be our conversation, that we're having amongst each other about what's going on behind the scenes. Things that's from the past or whatever, bad memories that they tried to sweep up, that they were doing demonic things behind the scenes. And they talk to demonic energies to conquer. And they're brutal people, you know, with masks on, soulless individuals with masks on that got the world to play into their um, shenanigans, only to use as a vessel to conquer and destroy and rewrite a whole lineage of people to replace with themselves as the original people of that bloodline, of that lineage, of that land, of shit. You get the just, right? But everybody that played a part in it, um, as far as the ones that was doing, because it is a small group, is what I'm hearing. We're going to pull some cards on them next, since God just said something about it. But just a small note. It's a small group of people that come together and they do this ritual. They use a mass amount of people to pull energy from, to feel. And it was a certain time points that they had to meet, is what I'm hearing them say or whatnot. I'm not even in, like I said, we having conversations that about situations that we're not even physically in that room. We're like walking ghosts. So breaking news, take appreciation to God, because I'm just the MC or whatnot, because we wouldn't know unless God was telling me and I was telling y'all. But this small group, it's not like something like small, like 5, 10, 20 people. Like about, God is showing me like up to 100 to 500 members. And they, but it's very tight, you know. And they took ancient teachings that they don't share, of course not, with the collective. And they've been using them for many, 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 many years. And they've been waiting each date that they, you know, sometimes it worked, sometimes they had a fall, like a setback, and they had to come back and regroup and all of that whatnot. That's why they use these certain things to keep everybody distracted, right? So they can do their work in peace, is what I'm hearing. This darkness thing that they do in peace, but they mostly do a lot of their work at night, because that's one of the key points, is what I'm hearing. Any work done should be done at night, not during the day, but we wouldn't know any better because we're made to be idiots, you know. But they do dark work. This is what I'm hearing them say, okay? One of the members or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Um, Shit, I don't fucking know. I'm just the MC. But, yeah. So they do their work at night, not during the day. And it's a small group. So let's see. Let's pull some cards. Like I said, I just wanted to give you guys a side note. And I had a light bulb moment. Like, ooh, let's pull some cards on this small group that they're talking about. That's up to 100 to 500. 100 to 500 members. Let's see what kind of breaking news we can get out of that shit. We might as well. We here. Not all the time. I don't pick the titles. We random pull them. So okay, so let's see. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Swords. Just a clue. I'm just gonna pull a spread so we can get an overview of what I see. Oh my God. This is some freaky ass shit what I'm about to say to y'all, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say it, okay? So, and I haven't even got this is just the first line of the cards. And I'll let y'all know what each card is, but this is like some type of when I said something about them trying to fill up this energy to meet a certain point, there's a certain point where they're dying. Like, it's like reverse. Remember when I just said like the plan was to do destiny swap to take your lineage, who you are as a person, and make you be extinct your whole bloodline, including you. They're going, it's the opposite. So it's timed. Like, they only have a certain amount of time to get this going, to get this, So that's why they were so serious and so precise about once they got in, doing these little demonic rituals that they do behind the scenes with these group of 100 to 500 people, members. They're dying, and they've been looking for a cure. Wow. And they have like people like us. They have families, but it's something different about them. Something's different about their blood or something like that. And they've been doing research and trying to keep everybody up under this dome or whatever, this lost bullshit. Because, we just talking about other things. We talked about multiple things about this breaking news or whatever. So this spread, yeah. I can't wait to see what the next line is going to be. But the cards are, the Page of Pentacles is in reverse. The Six of Cups is in reverse. The Eight of Pentacles is in reverse. The Eight of Cups is in the upright. The Two of Wands is in the upright. But remember, we talked about the Six of Cups, right? We broke it down what it looks like in the background. And it could be many things. Shops, hospitals, whatever, take your pick. But this Page of Pentacles is showing like a child being in a bed. Has a red nose or whatnot. Has elf ears. Has a hat on his head or whatnot. Just giving you guys details. It seems like childlike energy. It looks like the child is speaking out, mommy or daddy or whatever. Like it's a conversation of like one of those movies, like when there's a kid that's sick and then the mama and the daddy is saying to him, like, it's going to be all right. We're going to finally find a cure for us and we're going to live forever, But we're not talking about that. We're talking about bloodlines, lineages, and who you are as a person, though. We ain't talking about, it could be blood and all that being mixed and all that doctors and all that other shit. It could be, side note. But spiritually, because we speaking about it in a spiritually standpoint or whatever, we not putting, because we already know what is what. This is what this look like. And the Eight of Cups is a graveyard. And in the graveyard, y'all, I'm going to show you this card. I got to show you. I have to show y'all this card. I have to. But in the graveyard, you see it has potions and shit. I just wanted to show that to y'all with the tombstones and everything in the graveyard, right? It's like different remedies, different things that they done tried to use. Let's count these potions though real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's 8. So 8 seasons. So 8 something. I just wanted to make sure y'all. Just to call. I love to just, But yeah. This is what it looked like to me. Like. And then we was talking about the 9 of Pentacles and it had a whole bunch of presents in there. We also talked about the 6 of Pentacles. They had a whole bunch of presents in there too. Damn, I'm getting a download, y'all, with the word present. And along with everything that we just said, it's like they can't come back. This group of people, when they die, that's it. For us as people, we come back as a newborn. They don't get to come back. It's constantly extincting, is what I'm getting. And they were trying to find a remedy or to stop the wheel, because they don't get ours is constant. And that goes back to the Wheel of Fortune, y'all. We was talking about the Wheel of Fortune. Their wheel stops, ours don't. We reincarnate, they don't. Wow. And they talking amongst each other, saying, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. Just hold your horses. And they sitting there discussing and fighting with each other, because they like, now you said this was gonna work, and they're not. This delay that we caused ain't working. The hamster wheel is not working. Like, they're not following the spell. So, I don't know, y'all. Let's keep going, though. Oh, y'all. This is getting deep. Oh-wee. Like I said, I'm going to turn all the cards over, then tell y'all what it is. Tell you what I see. Oh-wee. Okay. So first off, I'm still analyzing it. First off, I just want to point out the fact that we have the Queen of Swords in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse. Now, this is a pair. Okay? Just want to throw that out there for y'all. Remember, we just previously talked about this group of 100 people to 500 people. It's a whole group of them. But two characters specifically is coming out. So we know that there's a union between these two. These two are the parents of possible this Page of Pentacles that's in reverse. Just saying. Also, we have another page out here, which is the Page of Potions, which is the Page of Cups. So, like I said, I'm still analyzing, looking. These are the people, like I said, that's talking amongst each other. Yes, it is 100 to 500 of them, but it's just a few of them amongst themselves having a private conversation. And I mean a few as in there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 5, 6, 7 people. The max of 7 people talking about this. Now, I feel like this Page of Potions is the son of another group member amongst this group. So now we're talking about there's 2 young sons in this story, a couple in this story, but I also feel like there's a doctor involved, and there's 3, I would call them like wingmen, wing women, secretaries, different people that just do other little side things that you can't do when you can't be in certain places, but they could be there for you to grab things for you. So I'm also getting, side note, with this plan that they have, because they don't live, they're dying off or whatnot. They've been looking for it in the trees as well. Some type of herb They've been looking for it. Yeah. Some type of herb that they had to put on, something that they had to keep going to go get to like I said, they're getting sick. And in the midst of them getting sick, they can't find a cure because they need a cure because they don't get to die and transition and come back. Once they die, it's over. Like I said, these are different people. They look regular like us, but they ain't regular like us. And they've been here looking for a cure. And in the midst of this cure that they've been looking for, they thought that they was going to take over a whole lineage in the midst of it. Oh, damn. And it's a whole family, a whole group. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's up to 100 to 500 people. That's a nice amount of people. One little small society group, whatever. But the secret is that, for one, they don't live forever, and they've been looking for a clue. I mean, we're looking for a clue, a remedy, something to where they can figure out how they can slow it down or reverse the process. But then, side note, they end up getting sick. So imagine trying to swipe destinies and don't know if you're going to live to see it, let alone be able to come back ever. Because we reincarnate and find ourselves back to who we originally was already in previous lifetimes. I said Stein, so I don't know, maybe Albert Einstein has something to do with this too. The story, maybe clues say that. Man, okay. I just want to get one more spread, and then I want to get some hoppers. I want to see what they talking about amongst each other. Yeah, we might as well. Mm. Wow. Okay, so this portion is like a looking for. They couldn't find nobody. They couldn't find no remedy. Like they still looking for it. But in the midst of them still looking for it, they're just trying to keep themselves as comfortable as possible. Plus this like sickness that passed because ooh, that's what it is. Okay, so as they were trying to I had to sit up straight, y'all. As they were trying to make this destiny swapping stick, you know how they be having those commercials where they say you could take this medicine. I'm gonna say this fast. Take this medicine or whatever, but then they have all those side effects to it. Boom, that's side effects. So as they were trying to do doing destiny swapping or whatever, the side effects is that they will lose their spirit, the little spirit that they had in the first place. They will lose the ghost or whatever. But anyways, they wasn't sick though. Long as they kept up with the remedies that they did have, they wasn't sick. They got sick because this kid, this baby got sick, part of the group. Not even a baby, but could be this young family member got sick and passed it to the mother, passed it to this father. They're both sick, but they're part of, like, even though they're a part of this group, they're trying to keep me from telling y'all. A part of this group, they're one of the heads. They're one of the ones that started this group. And this doctor is a part of it, one of the mains. These three secretaries are a part of it. This son is related to the doctor, well, is the son of the doctor. But they got a premonition about things to come, like but it ain't happening. Like, same results. Damn, y'all. It's some freaky shit about to be seen. Like, we think we done solved some shit up to this point. And if you do research, like, of history, just a little bit of everything or whatever, which we all do, is naturally on us. We all just have our own little way of doing our own research. But the craziest thing you thought you saw, shit. You thought movies was something. This right here is something else. Because to find out who they've been hiding themselves to be all this time, because it's going to come out, is a mind fuck within itself. And they can't stop it. They missed their mark and got sick and can't, once this is over. It ain't no more ancestors, guardian angels in there, because they don't believe in that. They don't believe in God. Just keep it real with y'all. But they wanted your lineage. They wanted your lineage. Goodness. And it's crazy that I slip up and say that word. So it's like they wanted your lineage at first, and now it's like they want to give it back. Like, here, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. Just hurp and take it, take it, take it, take it. Just get out of here. It sounds like shame of trying to do you wrong, but got shame put on them. Damn. And that's the reason why they have these this wealth. They stole it. The wealth don't belong to them. They're telling me that yes, it is 100 to 500 of them, and they got different accounts, different bloodlines are tied to them, because they didn't know what lineage was going to be the right fit for them. So it's like, let's say, just hypothetically as an example, um 300 people for one head. 300 people for one head. So 300 accounts for one head. 300 accounts per member. So if it's 500 of them, 300 per person. just in case. I need the, and they called them slips or whatever. We'll say that. Tokens. But these tokens wasn't tokens and these tokens wasn't slips. They were human beings. So, this is what I'm getting with that. We got a card that fell on the floor, so I'm going to pick it up. Four of Swords. Nine of Cups is here. God is here with that. These are our hopper cards. And the Moon is here. Yeah. Put you in the grave before you even in the grave, but say you don't exist. And they can exist in your place. But see, they needed to, something about what they was, some type of work they was at this time at night, you know, to be immortal. They're not immortal. They keep saying that. They're not immortal. They don't come back. Once this is the last term, it's like a time clock. You know, they was told, like a timer. Like, we don't have a timer. We get to come back, you know. They got a time clock on them that said set 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is close. Just as an example, hypothetically, allegedly. But the time clock is close, and they haven't found a cure. They haven't found a remedy. They tried to finance and tried to destiny swap. Nothing is sticking. I mean, it was all leaning up and coming into place, seemed like, but as time slipped away, we still haven't found a remedy. And then they got sick. So now you don't have a remedy, and you're not immortal, and you just sped up the process. In other words, is what they did. They wished death upon you and tried to take your bloodline from you, and so it shall be to them. And that's justice. That's fair. Don't they say what you put out, you shall get? And they've been doing this behind the scenes the whole damn time. That's crazy, y'all. What kind of investigation we done got ourselves into? The hell? What kind of investigation we done got ourselves into? I told y'all these is random reads. I gotta take me a sip. Got thirsty. I told y'all these is random reads or whatnot. Shoot, we never know what we gonna get. Shit. Yeah, we never know what we gonna fucking talk about over here. Shit, I love being here, y'all. Shit, not even taboos, because God be giving us the damn tea on some shit. I'm trying to tell you, without us even having to physically move a body or feet, nothing. We get a glimpse. So, let's see. I want to see, like, I'm grabbing a different deck. I call this deck like the Tree of Life, but it has like Italy kind of figures or whatnot. So it gives me like French type of vibe. But I want to see into this group or whatever, these members, these 100 members, these 100 to 500 members, the whole, I want to dive into the establishment of it. Like, get a glimpse of how they kind of came to being, you know. Came up with this plan initially and been hiding behind the scenes this whole time. So, let's dive into that. Let's see if we can get a description on what it looked like when they initially started this plan, where the plan came from, and how they executed the plan. and how they were so sure that it was going to work. Okay. We have the Queen of Wands, Six of Swords. Just gonna let y'all know. Then let y'all know what I see. We got the Chariot, the King of Wands here, and then the Ten of Wands here. Y'all, I'm not like stuck for words, but I love this shit. I love what I do, y'all, because I'm just the MC. I shuffle the cards and read what I see. And I'm going to throw out pointers, y'all, in between. We have another pair here, the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. Now, we just did a spread story about something that was going on with this situation, right? And now we're asking to talk about before they got to that point that they figured that they cannot steal the lineage from you, us, people. Okay? So they was in the King and Queen of Wands energy or whatnot. And they were on some type of transportation. Let's say that. They were traveling, looking, searching. Because the Six of Swords is movement across turmoil waters. So it wasn't a good place that they was coming from. Or where they was, maneuvering from. And the Chariot is also about movement. And it could be movement spiritually and physically. It also can be man and woman as well. Okay. Also, it has like a chariot on the chariot, right? So who is in the chariot? Just giving you guys details to what's going on. So we have double movement here. So we know that they were traveling, moving. Okay. Searching for something. Then we also have the Ten of Wands here as well. So Ten of Wands is a lot of work, burdens, or whatnot. What are y'all coming from? And what are you searching for? Just giving you clues. This is where they were. This is what they were doing before they decided to capitalize and still do identity theft. So they were already they were at the beginning of that time clock. That's what it is. All right now. They were at the beginning of the time clock. Nobody knew but them in this group. Nobody knew that they were on borrowed time, that it was limited, that they were going to expire. So what they did was, from the place that they came from, ooh, got it. I love this. The place that they came from, that city was dying. That lineage was dying. That land was dying. And they were the last of their dying kind. Damn. So that's why it was up to 100 to 500, because it was more of them. But nobody knew about this land that they lived on. Nobody knew about them because they're not the same. When they first came in to being with this time clock on their heads, they were in their youngest time frame, time bracket. Y'all, not to be cliche, but it's giving me vampire vibes, y'all. Just FYI, y'all. It's just a side note. just to give y'all a closer glimpse of what I'm talking about. Like being a vampire and still looking human though. You know, still gotta look regular just like you and I. But nah, on the inside, different. And their appetite is different. And ooh, yeah, I'm telling some stuff. But they was on this island. I'm getting them coming from an island. And nobody, a secret. It's a secret island. And they really kept to themselves at first. But on this island, oh my God. On this island, they started turning on each other. They started doing things, unnormal things to each other, but it was part of, like, you would think like a disease or a sickness is like, okay, I get sick, I cough, or I throw up, or I feel hot, or I feel shaky. Not for them. The disease was they started eating each other, sleeping with each other to not die. They couldn't figure out, like, it started small. This is crazy, y'all, okay? On this island, but they never told nobody that this is a secret. I'm getting like a secret, top secret, some shit or whatever. But we hear it, like, right? Um, excuse me. The disease turned them into monsters. Like they never did human like things, but they didn't do demonic things. It's like at first it started with just drinking blood out of a cup. I'm just giving you guys an example, using this hypothetically as an example. But it started with just drinking blood out of a cup. It started off with um having cattle to drain blood to drink in a cup. They started getting, y'all, this is difficult for me to explain because it's just so damn vulgar what they showing me. Like, it's just so graphic. But they started getting more hungry. Yeah, they wanted more food, more energy from the energy that they got from the blood or whatever. I'm also seeing that they even went to, from drinking it to just putting it directly into their veins, like it was a drug or whatever. This is what they were doing on this island, but it got worse. It was just a couple people around that was doing this, of their people. And they figured that they would be able to reverse it, but they couldn't reverse it, and the amount that was left over was 100 to 500 people. Well, they're not really people though, but this group or whatever. But from their town, where they come from, all of them, because they said they had to stick together, and they all traveled. So what's behind this chariot is not just this one chariot. It was a whole group of them traveling away from this mysterious island that they kept secret, where um they started eating on each other, feeding on each other, sleeping with each other, all kind of just everything that you could think of. That's the opposite of what you shouldn't do. They was doing it, but it was like a disease that came up over them, and the disease came up over them because they started doing they were doing these same ritual practices similar to what we were talking about, that they had us up under, this ruling that they had us up under, thinking that um this is the way of living, that's how you're supposed to be. But it had secrets, there's secrets behind these um holidays, and the secrets behind these holidays is the secrets that used to go on this secret island that they came from, where they originated from. And they used to have their feasts and everything, and things never got out of hand, is what I'm hearing them say. But then one day, things got out of hand, and their whole, because it was more than 500 of them. Damn, more than 500 of y'all. Heck no. But they got this disease, they ain't telling me the name of it, which caused them to self-eat, like they eat, it eats away, like they, this disease comes from, it eats away at you from the inside. They can't stop the, the time on it, but it also makes you go, some of them went crazy where they started eating on each other. They turned into the zombies. That's the best way I can explain. I'm trying to get as close as I can to what they showing me, but they turned it to whole as zombies. They went from vampires to turning into zombies. It was like stages, but these were diseases. But they wouldn't have labeled it as disease because it would frighten. They knew that they were their only kind. They had a whole bunch of them. They knew that they was the only kind on that island like that. Nobody else was around, because they got intrigued because of the heightness. They felt powerful for this. Did certain things for them to eat flesh or drink blood or whatever. This happened on their ships and chariots and try and search. They were searching for refuge. They were searching for a place where they could have some peace. And that's when they got the fuck over here. And they knew that they're vicious. They didn't have no choice but to come over and control the area, because I mean, yeah, we talking about this crazy ass shit. If we would have found out that they was vampires and fucking zombies and all that shit, hell no. We would have wanted to put their asses in the cage. So before we put them in the cage, they had to put us in the cage with all these damn rituals. Damn, this shit is crazy, y'all. I want to see what's the next row. We got the High Priest here. We have the Queen of Cups here. What's next? We got the Queen of Swords here. Oh shit, y'all. We got people out here now. We got the Three of Cups here. And we have the Three of Swords here. Now don't get it twisted, y'all. We still talking about this damn vampire zombie ass shit that's going on, and these people that's here, I sure don't feel like they not us. These people Are the other vampires a part of this group? I'm trying to see what they were doing. Hmm. So, leading up to what we were talking about earlier when they already done stated their claim and stuff, these are the people that stated their claim over here and initiated the process of stealing um, lineages, um, destiny swapping, doing identity theft. These five, six individuals, because you have the driver. No, seven then. But this one of the drivers saw a little bit more than the other driver, the transporter, as they were coming. Like I said, it's a couple. They were the initiators, but they also had help as well, you know. It was a whole big old group. But a high priestess, she said I'll do the spell work or whatever. I'll handle that part. I'll handle the paperwork. One was looking for the blood records. The records. So one was controlling the records, was going to file and correct them. The other was going to find the bloodlines that was attached to the records. And the other one was going to send it off. Make sure that it's so. And they all did their part together, whatever, to make sure that this thing would stay tight and together. But they are constantly getting sick, and it passed on to a child or child energy or whatever, as far as their group, because like I said, they don't um they're not immortal. That's the trick. Boy, I can't wait to sit back and listen to it. But the way it's shown that vampires live forever, nah, not these. Not these type of vampires. And maybe they put out that image to confuse the mind or something. Who fucking knows? All I know is that we speaking about straight facts. We ain't got time to be dancing around about why, but why? Because they wanted to destiny swap, and they wanted to take your lineage and your identity theft. Maybe you didn't know that you was tied to this land, and they wanted that was the whole um, gameplay, mind fuck, because that was their dude. They was trying to kill off as much as they could and keep the files on them though. Keep the paperwork so then they can swap it and say it was them. And then we already talked about they as vampires and they drink blood, so they probably saved the blood and regenerated shit after the bodies. They didn't plan on getting sick though. So the blood that they do, it make them sicker. Now, ooh, that's probably what it is. Remember we was asking earlier, we were trying to figure out what remedy they was trying to get. and it's in the trees, they can't find a blood match. And God made it like that. Purposely. They can't find a blood match. And then got sick. And now the disease is taking over their body. So now it's like, oh my God. It's reversing. So now they starting to look old. See, because like I told y'all, we not like them. We can get old and we come back. Shit. They get old. They wasn't supposed to get old. Is what I'm hearing them say. We wasn't supposed to get old. We're supposed to live forever. But they not human. And that idea that they pushed on us about like these different graphic things about zombies and shit like that, and them, that's really them. That's their culture. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Now they said they hid things in plain sight, but damn, their culture has been hidden right in our faces. That's where they come from. So when we see all this crazy shit, like, as an example, we don't get the full thing. They make a movie out of it. You see what I'm saying? So we only get clips and they get a little storyline. Just imagine like merging all those stories in one as a whole day in, day out type of thing. Where you got, because it's symbolic, y'all. You got them drinking blood, having sex with each other like family and stuff. They supposed to be family, but they be humping on each other like it's fun, like it's a thing. I'm not saying, it's a touchy situation, but I'm just saying, y'all get what I'm saying, right? And there's Jasons on every block. You see what I'm saying? There's Texas Master, there's a Jeepers Creepers or whatever. There's a Freddy Cougar or whatnot. But I'm saying like, not as graphic as they try to make it out to be. Yes, the crimes, but not as graphic. Like Freddy, for instance. Yeah, he played with people's dreams and stuff, but he liked little kids. He liked the fear off of children. So let's say, as an example, in their town, this is what they did. They didn't age. So you think about having some little people that some of them ain't kids, but they look like kids, but they really zombies, but they don't, really vampires, but they don't age. But they in the same community with Freddy Cougar. Which Freddy Cougar like little kids, but they not really little kids though. They really full grown adults that's slash vampires. Just giving you guys an example of where God is taking me with this. And when I say it wasn't as graphic, meaning like they intentionally knew what they were doing. So how they make it seem like, okay, Jason is just out of his mind and he just keeps on trying to kill people and kill people. No. There was a Jason, he enjoyed chopping up people. So his job probably was, the butcher. So he probably was the butcher of that town. Because they already ate meat and blood. And this is what they did in this dark fucking island that they from. And as far as like all of these nasty, gruesome things that people have picked up over here, and when they say, oh, they got demons on them or whatever, that shit came from their ass. They damn history and who they really are is in the scary movies. And they didn't want to, that's the only way that they can present it to us. Because if we knew that that's what they were, we would not. Of course we wouldn't. We would get the hell on. We would like the hell no. You know? You touch me, you gonna die, Satan. You know we would. So in order for them to give it to us without freaking us out, they put it in scary movies. So every little thing that you see, that's what was going on their island. Just take off all the extra shit. Use your logic mind to see it straight head on. So yeah, Jason would have been like a butcher or something like that. Freddy Krueger, his ass or whatever, was a freak. He was a freak nasty. He like, you know, the idea of leading or being in control or whatever. These are different spirits that they had on them, and that's how it played out on that island. You know? And like for Jeepers Creepers, he wanted everybody, whatever their best gift was, he wanted it from them. So it could have been a narcissist, but to the 10,000 power though. The king of a narcissist, you know, the one that likes to play. They did, what's the word God was trying to say to me? What we would call foreplay. But foreplay ain't really foreplay though. We whatever, these are different rituals that came from demonic beings that originated off of this island, and they're going extinct, and it's only about 100 to 500 of them, and they came over here to destiny swap. Plans just didn't work out, and actually plans have exceeded. It is moving faster now as far as in them being extinct. Damn. All right, y'all. I'm about to dive in too much deeper with this. This is crazy, y'all. I feel like I done talked y'all ears off. I ain't really been on here that long. It's only been what, about an hour or whatnot. But damn, y'all, this is what I'm seeing. Then I cut the deck. This death card has one old tree that doesn't have leaves on it, and then it has a new tree with leaves on it. And it's a woman touching the tree, like she's touching the new tree. So, like I said, y'all, and then behind, there's a red moon. And I heard blood moon. These are significant clues to what they were doing. Like literally, they came from this dark island. But on the dark island, I don't even know if that's what it's called, y'all. I'm just calling it that. But on the dark island, that's what they did there. All the pictures, scary movies that we see, that's their history. What they did on this dark island. I mean, they added a little bit of extras to it, but for the most part, every gruesome thing that you saw, they, I guess that's the only difference. Like, without so much, it was very graphic. I feel like I don't want to say that. Without the crying, I'll say, and sad faces, they enjoyed feasting and enjoyed sleeping with each other. That's how they wanted to keep the blood pure. Is what I'm hearing. It's how we keep the blood pure. We were never ashamed of our lineage. We needed something to clean it up. They didn't expect to become that apocalypse over there. I think that's what they call it. Where they was just start going crazy and killing each other and just getting sick because they didn't get sick. They were forever young. Only difference is they wasn't immortal. They was forever young, but they wasn't immortal. They had to keep the same skin they had. Once they reached a certain peaking point or some shit or whatever, and nobody knew, their little secret. Okay, y'all. Like I said, I'm not gonna yap too much. This is crazy as hell. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate it so much. That's the truth. Ace of Swords of the Tower. Behind the truth, y'all. This is absolutely what allegedly, hypothetically, what really happened, what's really going on behind the scenes, and this is why all this craziness is going on. People are not into religion. Religion was, I mean, not necessarily religion. Their religion, their yeah, I wasn't trying to say that. Their religion, I guess. I was trying to say their holidays, but their religion is not real. It's fake. It was something that they came up with along the way to keep everybody under this illusion while they searched the area to find a cure. It was always about them finding a cure um, after the fact of them going through that plague on their own island that they didn't tell anybody about. They came with this sickness already on them. And just spread false beliefs around the world to hide their secret. And their secret is that they're dying and they don't reincarnate. They're not human, as you say. And I'm going to leave it there, y'all. Peace.